Good afternoon, everyone. Firmbie with you, and welcome. Welcome to my little corner of the interwebs. Hey, it's great to have your company. Now, this is my first ever reaction video. It's actually a reaction video to a British guy. He thinks he knows what he's talking about, but we'll have a listen to it. So if you're into drones, or you're getting into drones, thinking about getting into drones, or an expert, we'll just have a listen and see what he has to say, and he thinks he's pretty special. So this is just, as I said, my first reaction video. I don't expect too many things from this. I try not to dribble shit too much, to be honest. I'll try to look directly at the camera and not over the screen, but you know this is going to happen. You know I'm going to actually look at the screen more than the camera, so that's going to happen. So you'll have to forgive me straight off the bat. So look, let's kick it in the guts and let's react to his video.
Whether you've got the DJI Mini 4 Pro, the Air 3,
that's me.
a posh Mavic,
Yeah,
or the
that's a pretty good one.
fantastic little DJI Neo, at some point you're going to be tempted to go shopping for some accessories.
Accessories, we love accessories.
I'm going to go through 16 of the essential accessories that I use to make my life easier whilst flying my drones.
Accessories.
And you might find that you actually have some of these already, but didn't know
some.
it. I hope. Now there's tons of stuff out there for the aspiring drone pilot.
The more toys we have,
that you might just end up
that's me.
I've
got so much shit in the drawer.
In this video, I'm going to show you the things that I actually use. Now, at the time of filming, Black Friday is just on the horizon. So if you take a look in the description, you'll see links to many of these products, and you might just be able to get a good deal.
Nice.
Now, I have to say that my affiliate links do earn the channel a tiny bit of commission, but it doesn't cost you any more.
No, good.
And if you're in the market for some ND
that's a good idea.
I happen to know that Freewell have got
that's something I would recommend.
Deals on for
good
Black
NDs.
Friday as well.
Without a doubt.
So let's get on with it.
Yeah, get on with it. Yeah.
Now, if you've got the Flymore combo for your
bag.
DJI
Look,
Mini 3
to be honest,
Pro,
that's the
Pro
first thing I would
3,
piss off.
It would have come with a bag. A bit like this.
It's a piece of
it holds your controller and your batteries. And your drone, but not much else. I found myself using this and a normal backpack. Or putting this.
That's a good idea. Look, if you're out, I agree with that.
That is until my son bought me this. This is the Yuhan multifunction backpack.
Right.
And like many photography bags,
good.
It
like
has
it.
a cube system on the inside that can be altered to fit your gear.
You can fit a lot of shit into there.
Where you can put a laptop with a couple of nice secure pockets in there as well.
That's important.
It opens from the back, so you've got access to all of your gear.
It's always important to have access from the back.
Feature. It's got a basic adjustable waistband, which I don't use.
Yeah, that's a piece of shit.
So I just fasten it around here. And also an outside pocket here. This is ideal for putting an Avata 2 or the DJI Neo in. Now at the bottom it's got these strong feet to protect it from the ground. And a secret pocket here, which also holds a waterproof cover.
Look,
all in all,
he actually stores all his...
fit every drone I own in this bag.
Wow.
It's
you've got too many toys.
Bag, and
way too many toys.
The past couple of years has not let me down whatsoever. And it's only 50 quid. Now, as you progress through the drone
how much
hobby,
that is in
you're going to amass a lot of spares like cables and
propellers. We have so many spares.
Now, this might come across as a bit weird, but I've actually found that these zippy bags, not the right way, are really useful. You can stick all of your spares in one of these,
make sure they're marked. You've got to mark
and label the bag.
Labeling, yes,
and that can
labeling.
Just go into
Big
your
on
drone
labeling.
bag, and you know that it's all safe and secure. It's nice and watertight.
Good idea.
And there's 15 in this box. You're probably not going to end up using all 15.
Yeah,
but
probably not.
Here's a little tip. And
what's that?
This might sound weird.
No.
But you can use one of these bags for keeping food fresh in.
Oh,
or you can put your sandwiches in it.
You cannot.
I know, I'm weird.
Wow.
However carefully you fly, propellers do tend to wear out over time.
Yeah.
Then, of course, there is the time when you will have that inevitable major crash. And you'll end up having to replace several, if not all, of your propellers. It'd be horrible to be out in the countryside and not have any spares and to just stop filming. Before you fly, you should always check the state of your propellers for any nicks or
that's a good idea.
Where the ends might
Actually,
break.
I must admit, that's something I don't do enough.
Keep a good stock of them. Luckily, DJI don't charge the earth for them. Do make sure you put the propellers on correctly.
Yeah,
I have got a video for that.
Oh, okay.
Moving on from replacing the
sure that's
propellers,
sort of linked
the
down in the
screwdriver that DJI provides for unscrewing and screwing up the propellers is absolute garbage.
Thank
and
you.
you're more than likely going to end up stripping your screws the first
Throw
time
it away.
you try to use
It's
it.
crap.
So I really would recommend
Absolute
getting
shit.
one of these. This is a PH000
Look, look, most of us got screwdrivers laying around anyway, in fairness.
When you click on it, you might see a different colour depending on what country you're in. So
yeah,
don't
we
panic.
don't give a
As
shit
long
about
as it's
colours, quite honestly.
PH000.
Right.
If you're going to be putting this in your drone bag, put a bit of tape over the top.
Yeah, watch out for the pointy
Just
bits.
stop that puncturing anything delicate.
Yes.
This
Watch
is
out for
not
pointy
bondage
bits.
gear. It's
Oh,
a
isn't it?
propeller strap.
Oh,
It fits
okay.
around your drone and stops your propellers from flapping about when you're taking it in and out.
No more flapping
of your
about with a
bag.
bondage gear.
Now, there are lots of people that say they don't bother with these, but DJI supply one with the Mini 4
That's
Pro,
gotta
so
be
there must be a
something.
reason for having them. When
100%.
I'm shoving things in and out, I
that's
don't
what she
want
said.
them to get damaged.
That's what she said.
Now, this is a fairly cheap way to...
Oh, we knew it was going to happen. Honestly, we knew.
what it is?
Yep.
No, and that's the whole point.
What?
I have a screen protector on here
No.
that makes no difference to how badly
me
I
look.
fly. But
Let
if
me
I
look.
happen to be a clumsy sod and drop my controller,
don't
it's
do
going
that.
to protect
Don't do
my
that. That's
screen from
not.
scratches
No,
and
don't do that.
potentially
That's
even
not
from
good.
getting cracked. Now they're really cheap.
It's
about
probably
£9
cheaper-
quid,
pretty
so
cheap-
it's a bit
cheap
of a
insurance.
no-brainer. This one here from
Cheap insurance?
Gear has a matte finish, so it's resistant to reflections.
Reflections.
They're really easy to apply. If you need to take them off for any reason, then they don't leave any residue. Just
Good.
wondering how much that matte screen is now reflecting
Let me look.
my studio lights.
Nah,
That's not
bugger
too
all.
bad.
Nah, bugger all. Can't see
Now,
it.
lanyards might be one of the most useful things on
yeah,
this list.
100% agree.
It's like having
That's
an
one thing I
extra
really
hand
must get.
when you're trying to juggle a camera, an aircraft, and also trying to take off and land.
Batteries,
I originally bought
mobile
this
phone,
very simple DJI branded one for my
you got-
remote controller 3.
100%.
And I liked it so much, and it was so lightweight and comfortable. I wanted a way for it to attach to my RC2 for when I was flying my Mini 4 Pro and my Air 3. After a bit of hunting around, I found this attachment here, which screws on the back of the RC2.
Can't you just screw it in on? Didn't you have two things on the
originally for a cycle mount.
doobly-doos
but it's
on
got
the
this hole
middle
here,
bit
which you can put the clasp of the
just screw in?
lanyard through.
Oh,
and
you know
that
what I
just
mean.
hangs your remote controller there. So you can imagine that's over your head.
Gotcha.
You've got your remote controller there.
Yep.
All good.
Yep.
I know it's got DJI on the lanyard, but I don't think DJI make it.
They just snuck that in on
Most
you.
DJI drones have very limited onboard storage capacity,
Oh,
so it's
another
always
big
a good
thing.
idea to
Another
invest
good
in a
idea.
couple of SD cards. You need to get an SD card that has U3 or V30 markings on
Right.
it. This makes
Which way-
sure
this way.
that it's fast enough to handle the data transfer speeds that's needed for nice, smooth 4K video at
Good
high frame
idea.
rates. I personally go for Kingston Canvas Go Plus
Kingston's good.
128 gigabyte SD cards. For one thing, it's the SD card that DJI recommend.
Oh, look, that's fair.
And touch wood, I've never really had any problems
Yeah,
with
touch
it.
wood as
Now,
well.
most drones can take an SD card up to 528 gigabytes.
5.
But with storage
12?
being so cheap these days, I really would recommend getting just 128
What about a
gigabyte cards,
couple?
possibly 256, and just spreading the investment of your time across more than one card. If
Yes,
you've just
just
got a
in case.
512 gigabyte card with a lot of your footage on and it
Yes.
gets corrupted, you've lost
Yep.
everything on that card. Whereas
100%.
just simply swapping out
swap it
128 gigabyte cards throughout the day
Yes.
means that you've got all of your footage safe and secure.
So across a
Also,
couple
if
of
you've
cards.
got a couple of
Good idea.
128 gigabyte
Just
cards,
store it in the controller.
You can keep one stored in your RC controller.
That's literally just what I just said.
You can also use it to take screen recordings.
Screen.
whilst you're
Actually,
flying, if
that's I
that's your
haven't
sort
done
of
that
thing.
yet. Screen recordings.
Next
I
up
must
is
do that.
strobes. So if you are sensitive to
not a
flashing
UFO.
lights, please skip
Cool.
along
We'll
to the
do
next
all We all like flashy
Now,
lights.
if you're a fan of flying at
We
night
can't
like
fly.
I am,
Oh, yeah,
or
you're
want
just
some
rubbing it in now.
extra
Honestly,
visual
you are
line of
just
sight
here in
during the
Australia.
day or in low
I
visibility
don't know whether
conditions.
we cannot
One
fly
of
at
these
night.
strobes
You're just rubbing
is
it
really
in.
useful.
Honestly.
This tiny little strobe from
Yeah,
Firefly
bugger
is
off with
really
your
good. It's
fancy
USB
night flying
rechargeable.
bloody strobe
And
thing.
every time I've used it, I'm blown away by
You-
the fact
you're just
that
rubbing
when
it
I
in,
get it
honestly.
back, I rarely have
Bugger
to
off.
actually charge it.
Nobody likes you
It
anymore.
holds a charge really well.
Yeah,
They
waffle
simply
on,
mount
you old
on your
fart.
drone
Just because you
using
can fly at
Velcro,
night and we can't,
stick
honestly.
very securely, and by
Yeah.
pressing this button,
Here we go.
we get flashing green lights. And press the button again, and it changes the speed of it. Press it again, and it's just on.
On.
And then you've got white,
You're going to blind yourself in a minute,
different
aren't you?
speed.
Or
just
give
on.
yourself
Then you've got
some
red,
sort of fit.
and then you just press and hold it
Don't-
to
don't do
switch
that.
it off.
Don't-
Now
turn it
that
off.
is really bright, and I can't really see my
Yeah.
camera anymore.
What
I've
did I
got
just say?
Strobe lights in front of my eyes.
Honestly.
They are really useful, not only for safety, but also for visual line of sight as well. And before
fair.
anyone says it, yes, a strobe like this, even though it's
Puts
very
you over
small and very
250.
light, will put your drone over 250 grams. So you may have to check your flight restrictions for flying over.
So if you've got a license, you're fine.
I'll talk
If you
more about that in
if you haven't got a license, you're
I'm very sorry to my colleagues in the Netherlands and in
And us.
Australia.
Here we
know
go.
You're not allowed to fly at night.
Yeah.
I am sorry. But these are still
You
useful
almost sound like you
during
meant
the
it
day
to.
if you've got low visibility.
Next.
ND filters or neutral density
Oh, these are great
filters made
ideas.
by various
Yeah,
different
that's something I would
companies,
recommend
but the
without a doubt,
ones I
especially if you're like me and,
swear by are
and if you
from Firmbie.
shoot
Not because they send
time
them
lapse
to
or
me
shoot
free to
hyperlapse.
review, but actually because they are very, very good.
They're helpful.
And believe me, I have tried others.
Yep.
What do ND filters do?
I'm
well,
glad you
as
asked.
you'll hear many drone channel creators say, they're sunglasses for your
Sunglasses
drone.
for your
In
drone.
basic terms, they help your footage look more
Cinematic.
and
Yep.
natural. And
Of course it
also
does.
work as great protection for your lens.
Cheap.
There's a whole playlist that I've got about ND filters if you
Go and
want
have a
to
watch.
know more. So
Yeah.
do
Just
check
like
that
the
out.
links in the doobly
Now, I
doo
should
down
probably
below.
asked you this
Go and check it
before I
out.
started talking about ND filters, but could you please hit like and subscribe,
Subscribe.
and hit the
And turn the
notifications?
bell
Thank you very
notifications on.
much. Really
Yeah.
helps the
Actually, it's
channel
worth
out.
doing.
Let's
It's
get on
worth
to the
doing, to be
next one.
honest. It's actually a
Now,
good
most
channel to
ND
go
filters
and,
come with a little lens
subscribe
cleaning
to.
cloth, which is great, but it's always a good idea to bring a nice absorbent microfiber
Oh,
towel.
the amount of
with
times
you
I've been
when
caught
you're
out in the
out
shower
flying.
rain
You
and
can
everything's
use
got
it
wet.
to clean any moisture or
Good.
dirt that gets onto your drone
100%.
from any unplanned quick descents.
Oh, it means a crash. That's what it
Even
means.
though I tend to hand launch and hand catch my drones, from time to time there is a need for a landing pad. Normally,
Another
when
good
you're trying to
idea.
juggle a
I
camera,
I
it's a
actually
little
store
bit
mine in my
windy and
hard
you're on
case.
some uneven ground.
Mine's actually
So
a
I've
square
got
one, but
this
look,
one,
a
which
round
my
one does
daughter
exactly the
actually
same.
bought
So
me.
I think they're worthwhile doing. Oh, look at that.
It's
That's
blue
actually,
on one side and orange on another.
pretty cool.
Comes with 3 pegs to
a little
peg it in the
smaller than
ground to
mine.
stop it blowing away. And
Good idea.
it just folds down like this.
Oh, you idiot.
Really quickly, and
Really
easily,
quickly
and just slips inside
into
your
the-
bag.
into
Also
the-
great
yes,
if you fly
really
FPV
quickly.
with drones like the Avata 2. This
so
is
quick.
the TS301 anemometer from
what a
Top Test.
anemometer?
Anemometers are great for anyone
An
that's
anem-
starting out in the hobby. Basically,
An
what
anemo-
they do is measure the
what a-
wind speed, and they really
Oh,
help
a
out
wind
if
gauge.
you're not quite sure
Why did you say a wind
whether
gauge?
it's too windy to fly your
It's a
drone
wind gauge.
or not.
It's not an
I was
anemometer.
talking to Sean from Geeks Varna the other day,
I
and he
st-
pointed
yeah,
out that they're
I'll
also
never be able to
useful
say that.
because in most territories it's illegal to fly your drone in wind speeds over the manufacturer's stated maximum.
That I
so
did not
well
know.
worth getting if you fly
That's
in
actually good
adverse
to know.
conditions. I've got a whole video about the TS301.
Is it worth
and
25
you can
bucks?
Get 10%
I don't
off
know.
this using this code.
Because you
I'll
can
leave
actually
it
tell
in
that
the
on
description as well.
your app.
So yes,
So,
now we're
is
talking
it
about
worth
power
it?
and portable power. One of the great things that DJI make is a 65 watt car charger that just fits in the cigarette lighter
That's
whatever
What do
they
they
call it these days. It's
I
got
gotcha.
a USB-C and a USB
Because we don't have
port on
cigarettes
it.
in the
And
car
whilst it is a little bit
anymore.
pricey, it's really, really handy.
For the young people,
Not
we
just
used to
for
smoke in
charging
the
your
car
drone
and
while
never
you're on
thought
the
of it.
move, but for charging your phone.
We just don't do that anymore, do
Whenever
we?
you need to charge with a USB charger. But if you're on a trip for a couple of days and you don't want to be constantly looking for somewhere to plug in your batteries to be charged, then I can thoroughly
We always do
recommend
that?
this. This is
What is
the
it?
Anker Prime 250 watt, 27,000 milliamp hour power
27,000
bank.
milliamp.
It's good
So it's
to charge
it's up there.
3 Air 3 batteries and six Mini 4 Pro batteries.
Hang on.
And
How many
it
fingers
does
do I
it
have?
fast
6.
as well.
That
In
many
fact,
can't
potentially
get fingers on
faster
camera.
than charging at home with a
Wow.
65 watt adapter. Now it is a
Okay.
bit pricey, but Anker are
Yes.
well known for doing very deep
It's up there.
discounts around Black Friday, so keep an eye out for it. And if you can afford it, grab the base unit as well, because that also
what does
acts
that
as
do?
a charging hub, and you can plug other USB powered devices into it, as well as charging this wirelessly.
Gotcha. So that charges the other
And it
bit.
makes a really nice desk clock as well.
And then that's pretty important. You've got to have
Now,
a clock.
whilst the RC1 and RC2 have got these really handy built-in screens,
Screens.
many people still prefer to use the RCN controllers, where you clamp in your phone
not a
and
fan.
fly using the DJI Fly app with the
Look,
phone
that's
plugged
handy
into
'cause
the
you've
controller.
got a
But that
yeah.
does mean that you have to switch notifications off on your
Phone.
put it onto mute and all of that sort of
Too
stuff.
hard.
And then you don't have your phone for emergencies, and some people feel uncomfortable with that. Well, if you're anything like me, I bet you've got a bunch of old phones stashed
sitting
away
in the
gathering
drawer.
dust in a drawer somewhere.
Gotcha.
So just find your most recent old phone that you're not using
And
anymore.
use that.
And do what I did. This is an iPhone 11. I've
Mm-hmm.
cleared everything off it. It's got no SIM card in it. I've just got DJI Fly on it and a couple of other drone apps. Basically, a free monitor for your RCN controller.
That makes
When
sense.
you're out and about, it's
Okay,
always
that's
good to
quite
keep
clever.
yourself hydrated.
See, he's not
so
just a pretty
grab
face.
yourself an insulated bottle and your favourite weak
No,
lemon
you're right.
drink.
He's
I tend to
not,
favour
actually,
Robinson's
but-
barley water, and there is actually a link down below for it.
For the barley water? There's a
Unfortunately,
link?
even though I looked for it, I couldn't find it for you guys
Okay.
in the US. I'm sorry, but that does show how dedicated I am. Leave a like. Thank you to Top Tez again for providing these units. Best of luck. Bye.
Oh, okay. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool, I must admit. Okay, he sounds like he knows what he's talking about. Go and check him out.